In the last section, we learned 4 properties of logs. In this section, we'll learn about 4 additional properties that correspond with properties of exponents. The remainder of our work in this chapter will be based on the properties that we learn in this section. The first property is called the product property. When we multiply with the same base in exponents, we end up adding the exponents. Something similar happens with logs. So if I have the log with any base of m times n, then the product property says that you can split that into 2 separate logs, the log of m, still base b, plus another log of n, still base b. So example 1, use the product property to expand. Part A, the log of 4 times 5, base 7. Product property says that we can split this into the log of 4 base 7 plus the log of 5 base 7. Example 1b, the log of 10x. The product property says we can split this into the log of 10 plus the log of x. And this one can actually be simplified further. Remember that if you have log with no base, then it's implied that the base is 10. Our first basic property from the last section said if the base of the log and the inside number are the exact same, then that log simplifies to 1. So the log of 10 is 1 plus the log of x. So using the product property, we can sometimes simplify a log expression. Our second property is called the quotient property. When we divide with exponents with the same base, we end up subtracting the exponents. With logs, if you have the log of m over n, or m divided by n, with any base, then the quotient property says that you can split into 2 logs, the log of m minus the log of n. So example 2, use the quotient property to expand a, the log of 7 over x, base 19. Quotient property says we can take the log of 7, base 19, and subtract the log of the denominator, x, base 19. Part B, the natural log of e cubed over 7. The natural log of e cubed, and we'd subtract the natural log of 7 is how that would expand. Okay, remember that the natural log has base e. And so this right here, the natural log of e cubed, this is our second property from the last section. Okay, since the base is e, and inside we have e cubed, the natural log of e cubed simplifies to 3 minus the natural log of 7. Our third property is called the power property. When we have an exponential expression raised to a power, we multiply exponents. With logs, if we have inside an expression raised to a power, the power property says we can take this power and multiply it outside the log instead. This is going to be one of our most useful log properties as we go forward in this chapter. So example number 3, use the power property to expand. Part A, we have the log of 7 to the 4th power, base 5. The power property says this 4 can be multiplied in front of the log, And so log of 7 to the 4th power base 5 is the same thing as 4 times the log of 7 base 5. Okay, part B, the natural log of the square root of x. It says to expand using the power property. There's not a power property explicitly written here, but remember, we learned this before and reviewed this before. Square roots are fractional exponents, so you can think of this as the natural log of x to the 1/2 power, and then the 1/2 can be multiplied in front. So the natural log of the square root of x is the same as 1/2 the natural log of x.